Chasing Evil, The Hunt for Mengele. Born in Günzburg, Bavaria, in the German Empire in 1911, Josef Mengele would join the Nazi Party in 1937 and the SS a year later in 1938. Before war broke out, Mengele became a doctor of both medicine and anthropology, and he would use these skills at the start of the war as he became a battalion medical officer. However, Mengele is not remembered for his service here, but instead for the monstrous acts he committed during his time as a physician at the infamous Auschwitz concentration camp in Poland. Beginning in early 1943, Mengele would carry out horrific human experiments on live patients for genetic purposes. Mengele would often focus on twins, which were sometimes children, and this is where Mengele would earn his nickname of the Angel of Death. Mengele showed no remorse and had no consideration for his victims' health or safety. Amputations, blood transfusions, disease-ridden injections were all common practices of Mengele, who would also play a part in deciding who and who does not go to the gas chamber. However, this evil would halt in 1945 as Mengele was moved following large gains by the Soviet Red Army in Poland. Eventually, as Nazi Germany collapsed in May 1945, Mengele evaded capture, however was caught by American forces in June 1945, but managed to get himself out of it, partly due to the disorganization of the identification process. Now out of custody, Mengele would get to Genoa, Italy via a system of rat lines, and from there traveled by boat to Argentina in 1949. Mengele would live around Buenos Aires and would bounce around in terms of occupations and travels. Mengele would then go to Paraguay in 1959, following a realization his Nazi past could be exposed. The following year, in 1960, Mengele found himself relocated once again, this time to Brazil, and this would be his last stop. Beginning in the early 1970s, Mengele's health began to deteriorate and would ultimately lead to his death on the 7th of February, 1979, as he would die from drowning after a stroke. Josef Mengele was 67 years old and buried under the name Wolfgang Gerhard. The real Gerhard helped Mengele get into Brazil, and once Gerhard left Brazil in 1971, Mengele took his identity and used it up until his death. In 1985, acting on previous intelligence, authorities interrogated friends of Mengele in Brazil who gave up the location of his grave. The grave was dug up and the remains were DNA tested and were confirmed to be Mengele's. Josef Mengele was now confirmed dead. Despite many trying to hunt him down following his many acts of inhumanity, Mengele was able to avoid detainment after World War II. While serving for the SS and at Auschwitz, Josef Mengele would be responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of innocent people and was never officially imprisoned or penalized for his barbarity. Thanks for watching.